free up that supply.
Well, we are loaded into the game now. Would you like to do the honors of introducing these two players to the stream?
Oh yeah, sure. Guys, spawning at the 3 o'clock position, we do have the Blue Zerg player from Dutch... I mean, not Dutch, from Netherlands, should I say. It is Joseph the Crone, aka LiquidRet. And opposing him will be the orange player that I do not know very much about. It is going to be Vridiano, who is just placing down his first pylon in preparing for the Forge Fast Expand.
Which is what we expected from the very start, that it was going to be a Forge Fast expansion build. We've got the Scouting Probe going to go and check the cross positions first, the Overlord just coming to the close positions, and this is all very standard, and I can't help but hope that Rhett is going to do something super fun, like, for example, a Nidus play. That would just be awesome. It would be something that would make me very happy. May go for Mutas as well. There is some dead space around the main and also around the third base, so that's something that can be viable depending on what you want to be trying to achieve. But all in all, I'm thinking Red most likely just to go pretty standard, pretty straight up. Maybe not aiming for a super long macro game, but instead just going for a solid mid-game timing.
Yeah. Red already has scouted his opponents. Vridiano very smartly, since he did not scout his opponent on the first try, is putting down the Forge a little bit sooner, just to be safe, and missing this drone move out by just a couple of eye blinks, I would have to say, because that's not even a second, and Red is allowed to place down his natural hatchery without any sort of problems.
And once you get that natural hatch down without any problems, it's good news for you, because while blocks don't have a massive detriment to your build overall, which so many Zerg players are used to, and getting it down earlier just means things go nicely. And also, when we look at Vridiano's, he is getting down a Forge first before the Nexus. So economically, he's playing more safe as opposed to getting the great economy down. Rek going for the 4 Zerglings, though. That's more of a safety move. Generally, he tends to go for 2, at least most pro players do. Getting 4 out just means that you're very safe against any early aggression. It means you can secure that third base very safely. And I think that's a smart move by Red against a somewhat unknown opponent.
Yep. He's playing very safe. After all, this is the best of one. Is going to chase that probe from his third base, puts down the hatchery without any problems, and he will use these 3-lings maybe to secure watchtowers, maybe to put a little bit of pressure, try to pressure the gateway, but with that cannon up, I don't think there is much chance of that. Yeah, Red sees the cannon and pulls back the Zerglings to kill that probe for good. There it goes.
And the Queen even getting a little snipe off there. That denies any scouting going on, but once you know the third base is coming down at that time, you know there's not going to be any gas, you know there's not going to be a roach spawn or anything like that, so nothing really hurt. Importantly for Red is this Overlord position. He's getting a good scout out at the natural base, sees the Forge, and what's really critical about that is while he keeps that up before the Stalker or Sentry comes out, he can know whether anything's researching, whether there's going to be a +1, which would be the indicator of some kind of Immortal Sentry or Gateway push likely to be coming out. So Red just knows exactly what he's dealing with for the moment, and is in a very comfortable spot.
Yep. For now, he's just going to be droning up, and as his third base finishes, he should be taking those gases very shortly. Now, as you said, this Overlord, or these 2 Overlords, should I say, have pretty much the reign of the skies before the Stalker comes out, being chrono boosted out as well. Vridiano wants to get rid of those pesky Overlords as soon as possible, of course. And as we said, Red is taking his gases right now, doing so in the natural, no less.
Which is a fairly normal thing to do, to be fair, because getting those natural gases just means that if a probe gets in, you don't know whether it's 2 or 4. You can assume it's going to be 2 gases, but again, 4 means mutas are viable, which is something that you need to prepare for very specifically as a Protoss player. Red's also keeping those speedlings, or Zerglings rather, just outside of the natural base, which is a great move because you know then if something's moving out. But we see the robotic facility coming down. We see now the third gas coming down here for Virando, and, well, this is just standard play.
It is, and so far, for all intents and purposes, this looks like it could be an Immortal Sentry all-in. I would be... Yeah, Definitely with the fourth gas, I can't imagine this would be much of anything else, so definitely not a very fast third coming down. And there go the 2 additional gates. And wow, okay. So an observer coming out first. So Vridiano does not feel at all comfortable or confident all-inning our dear Red here, it seems like.
It's a strange build coming down, and if it was going to be an Immortal Sentry all-in, there isn't the +1 ground weapons researching yet. So that's something which is pretty much a staple of the build, because you hit with that timing in order to just deal the extra damage. But Red, he's going standard as standard can be. He's got his Evolution and Roach Warren coming down at the same time. Also getting his Macro Hatch, not able to really secure a quick fourth on this map, just due to how far away it is and the destructible rocks. But I think his play is just really solid at the moment. He's getting everything that he needs out. He's droning heavily, already up to 69 drones at the 8-minute 20 mark. So he is definitely in good times and getting the +1 missile attack down now as well.
Yeah, and Vridiano is just continuing this with Immortal production and getting that +1 that he omitted for so long. I mean, when you're trying to do an all-in, you don't necessarily have to queue that +1 attack straight up, because it takes 110 seconds to complete. So you can get your first Immortal out before you even queue that up. It's still going to finish just in time when you start attacking. But, well, we do see 2 additional gates, but that's about it, putting Vridiano to 5. The observer sees everything, of course, and sees that there are roaches being produced, actually. So Red is getting ready for some type of pressure.
Which is fine. You want to be, if against an Immortal Sentry push, which it does seem like it's gearing up to be, you want to be engaging that near your opponent's base, because the quicker you actually try and engage it in open space, the more force fields are required. It delays the push, it gives you more time to get more units out. But Red also has a great read on his opponent. He's got a Speedling at the third, a Speedling outside the natural. He's got Overlord just keeping a good look on the potential fourth base as well. And he knows everything that his opponent's doing, and is now just streaming across with a lot of roaches and a lot of Speedlings.
That's a lot of roaches and Speedlings, man. This changeling is desperately trying to get inside the Protoss base, but kind of butting heads with the Zealot on guard there. It looks like Red is trying to go for some sort of yeah, this is the very old Roachling max out, I would say. Look at this, 10 minutes, 55 seconds, and the supplies are 181 for Red. He is staying at 66 drones and doesn't look like he's making any more. He's going to be pressuring Vridiano hard here as he's getting his infestation pit down.
This is a good push. Admittedly, it's an 11-minute timing, but it's not maxed out at 200 of 200, but then the infestation pit and a second evolution chamber is coming down behind this. So Red just making sure that he's got a backup plan should he need to. He's also now taking his fourth base, and that's really critical, because once you get that fourth down, you know that you can transition out of this. You can put on the pressure, and as long as you deal some good damage, it should all be fine. Some more Speedlings coming across now. We also have Pathogen Glands starting. But it's a nice defensive spot for the Protoss player. A lot of sentries, a lot of immortals. You can get a good number of force fields down here and try and hold off. So it's all up to see what Red does. But the Protoss player now moving out.
And he doesn't know that there is actually a sandwich move set up against him. Red can put himself into a wonderful position here. Here he comes in from all sides. Force fields go down, but not as good as Vridiano would want. The roaches get at the immortals, all the links stream in, and this is not going well for the Protoss player at all. The LiquidRet just kiting forward aggressively and wiping out everything that Vridiano has at the moment.
Indeed, as you said, those force fields, they came down possibly a fraction too late. Red just able to get the perfect army positioning, surrounded everything, and now he's actually managed to make it into the natural base. I fear this is going to be all she wrote, because, to be honest, when you've got this many roaches in there, you've got reinforcements streaming across the map, we've got so many Speedlings coming, and now most of the production facilities getting taken out. I don't think there's any way to come back, and there's the GG. Well played.
GG indeed.